based also in hardware, I believe, and with well-equipped laboratories in many scientific and medical areas. Dr. Pandya is also Chancellor of the Dev Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya, a university that they've established, equivalent to the ancient ones of Nalananda and Takshila, and it was Sri Ram Sharma's solemn dream to build this university to revive the ancient culture of the ancient rishis, and currently headed by Dr. Pandya. Over 60 students are doing PhD level research under his guidance. Dr. Pandya is also editor of Kanjoti magazine. We receive it here at our ashram, and it's published in, that magazine is published in 7 regional languages and over 1 million subscribers worldwide. Dr. Pandya has been extremely active in his work to carry on the work, of course, of Sri Ramacharya Sharma. The work of putting the teachings of the ancient rishis in a scientific, modern form, so that everyone, most of us have come up through a fairly westernized form of education where reason and science is stressed a lot. And what Dr. Pandya has done so brilliantly, I think, is to present these teachings in a scientific way so that any of us can understand very clearly. So let us warmly greet Dr. Paranv Pandya this evening.
Seated in the subtler presence of our Gurudev, Pandya Sri Ram Sharma Acharya and Paramanya Mataji, Param Pujya Swami Tadatmanandji, all the devoted disciples in this ArshaBodha Vidya Mandir, all the Devtulya Bhaiyo, brothers, and my Shakti Swarupa sisters, all the persons who have come on the invitation of Swamiji for this lecture on a weekday, a very, very hot day with 108 temperature. I thought India has come with me here. I just came 3 days back, and there the temperature was 43. And the temperature is Celsius, means 43 Celsius. If 43 Fahrenheit would have been here, I would have cherished coming here. But anyway, it is very hot. It is global warming, and it is giving us a disastrous warning about the future. We have to think more and more about that. And in that too, I am talking about stress. So hot and then more hotter. Stress, but reversal. How to reverse this stress? So if you can reverse the stress, you can reverse the global warming also. We are positive, and with that positive started. One thing which I want to say is that we are living in 21st century, and this 21st century we have progressed to such a level that we are dreaming of building colonies on the moon. We are dreaming about growth in such a way that each and everyone starts getting resources enough to nurture himself, his family. We are living in a world with so much industrious work going on each and every. I'll just request one thing. Can we switch off your mobile for a while? Just for next 45 minutes. And in this 21st century of cell phone, of 21st century of technology, 21st century of the adventural researches in modern medicine and everything, why the man is not at peace? Why the inner satisfaction has been lost totally? I think it is because of the continuing state of our working, in which we are trying to gain more and more. Our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi, he said that there is enough for everyone's need in this earth, but not for even enough for everyone's greed. We have become greedy, and because of that greediness, we are trying to tap the resources, too many resources, and that is why I think the person has become trashna has become so much that we want to more, has led us to a state in which we are living in a stress world. You cannot live without stress. Stress is the spice of life. Stress is something which gives you a boost up. Stress is something which gives you energy, channelizes your energy. Without stress, you cannot live. But stress should not kill you. Stress should not burn you. what happens is that generally either we get burnt out or we get rusted out. So what is necessary for understanding the need of meditation is that in today's world, when we are surrounded with so many negative vibrations around us, the only thing which we have is meditation, which can reverse the stress to a positive stress. And that positive stress can work as a booster for all of us. If you understand that beginning point, that 21st century has brought a lot of wonders in the world of science, boons, but the curse is only one, and that curse is dehumanizing the potential of the man. We are actually gradually, the man is losing his basically the all potential which he has. And when I see a young executive coming up very fast, 22 years, 23 years of age, getting very high salary, about $50,000 per annum, and then to 100,000 per annum, and then to going to, you can imagine, about $50 annum. And then when he gets burnt out by 24 into 7, means 24 hours into 7 days, and then ultimately at the age of 30, 35, he starts getting the signs and symptoms of the stress-borne diseases. And those stresses which are killing from inside, they ultimately starts getting manifest in the form of various disorders. And if you ask me as a doctor, I am a doctor basically, but now I am more and more healing people through spirituality. So I think I am doing more service than a doctor by healing people through thoughts and by prayer. So what I think is that as a doctor, when I see the masses, and if I'm asked to put a hand on the pulse of the whole mass, whole society, I will tell you that most of the people who are living in this world, they actually are falling prey to many minor things which they could have managed properly. They don't know the art of living, they don't know the art of managing themselves, they don't know the spirituality. If spirituality is inculcated with the technology of today, then spirituality and science together, I think we could have run the show perfectly well. So we have to understand the human potential. The human potential is such that we got immense energy in us. We got so much of energy that Swami Vivekananda had to write, each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest their divinity within or out by work or worship, by knowledge or any means. He said each soul is potentially divine. We have got that divinity within. But unfortunately, we don't identify that divinity. We don't understand the potential of ours inside. And if we understand that potential of us inside, I think we can do wonderful work. One example I'll give you. Impossible qualities are there inside the body, in the brain and in the body. We've got immunity, and that immunity is so strong that we can fight with the diseases. We can fight with the various adversities in the life. But unfortunately, we don't know about them, and we don't tap them. Resources, we don't tap them properly. Just one example, there was a Second World War, there was a jeep going with 4 persons on the jeep. One was the lieutenant and 3 were the soldiers. The jeep went into the ditch, stresses are there in the society. If you, early morning moon of the Monday morning, you are going for work, that stress is also always there with you. Driving from New York to New Jersey and driving from New Jersey to New York is a stress. You don't know where you will get the traffic jam. And traveling is a stress. You don't know where the security will be there, whether there will be any terrorist attack or something like that. You don't know if traffic jam is there and there is a car standing of the police home. This is something which is a cause of surrounding us. But there are some stresses which are coming from inside. And those inside stresses are under your control. Outside circumstances are sometimes under not your control. But you know how to manage them. And I will tell you how to manage them through meditation. We go with the presentation. Understanding the concept of sound health. When we understand the concept of sound health, you have to understand one more important aspect is that WHO has defined as the sound health as physical, mental, spiritual and social well-being. Physical, mental, spiritual and social well-being. Earlier there used to be definition of physical and mental well-being. That was the early definition. Then they started the dimension of social in 1957 and then spiritual was added in 1980s. So all these 4 combined together became the WHO's definition. If you are not fully, if you say I am healthy, you have to measure your health on the parameters of all these 4 things. that is physical, mental, spiritual, social. So you have to assess yourself, are you really healthy? If you are healthy, then are you able to spiritually analyze yourself? Spiritual health is very important, and that spiritual health has to be understood in the perspective of your body structure. The body is branches, and mind is trunk, and spiritual faith is a root. If root is nurtured properly, then the trunk will be properly becoming strong, and the branches will be properly formed, and the leaves will be okay. If the roots are dry, roots are decayed, roots are eaten by the termites, then you will see that the spiritual faith, if it is eroded, the body is not going to become stronger. So the most important thing is the roots. Now what is happening today? We are watering the leaves. We are giving the nurturing nourishment to the leaves. Today, if you go to any hospital or any place, after the mind, nobody is looking after the inner faith. If we start enhancing our stress, basically it includes the integrated activity of cortex, hypothalamus, autonomic nervous system, neuromuscular and hormonal system. For just few minutes, I want to take you to medical world and to tell you how stress occurs and how the stress hormones they start secreting, and how ultimately we start becoming more and more stressed because of the activities of this. Cortex is here, cerebral cortex. Hypothalamus is the base of the brain. Autonomic nervous system is throughout the body, throughout the spinal cord, Sushumna Nadi. Surrounding that, sympathetic and parasympathetic system, neuromuscular system, and the hormonal system, the endocrine glands. These combined together, stress plays through these few systems of the body. The role of neurotransmitter is imbalances in brain chemistry, particularly neurotransmitter level, have a large range of effects on the emotions, behavior, and brain circulation. Now, what happens? Because of these stresses, the neurotransmitters are affected. And these neurotransmitters, they lead to increased secretion of the cortisol and serotonin and norepinephrine. They are affected. And because of that, our emotions, they start playing a very important role, that we are either highly emotional or we lose our emotional capability. And that is because of the role of neurotransmitters. So basically, our body starts working. Somehow, my doctor inside starts working, even in spiritual lectures. So I just put up few slides of the medicine. So that, to let you know that why the stresses are damaging and how they act. Stress causes a reaction within the nervous system. Stress hormone cortisol is overproduced. Now this cortisol is something which is damaging the whole body. Cortisol is preparing, the overproduction starts occurring, the side effects of this. And there are many side effects which I'll let you know. And because of that, the body system starts getting deranged. The effect of the stress hormones is weakening and decreasing the production of the calming hormones. There are two types of hormones, stimulating hormones and the calming hormones. The stimulating hormones are the cortisol, and the calming hormones are the melatonin, serotonin. And when they start getting reduced, ultimately your sleep is affected, your body system is disturbed, and your calm and composed attitude is disturbed. So why you are totally disturbed mentally is this is something which I don't want you to go into detail, but this is something which is known as pituitary adrenal axis. And this pituitary adrenal axis starts occurring hypothalamus. This is the antipituitary, postpituitary. All these systems, they are just connected. And you know, pituitary is what here? I'm just telling you for one reason. I'll tell you meditation about the Agna Chakra. Agna Chakra is bipetaled Agna Chakra. This is the pituitary. This is secretes melatonin, and the pituitary gland, it secretes few hormones which are responsible for the growth of the whole body. The whole metabolism is regulated from here. So ultimately, pituitary adrenal axis, and from pituitary the adrenal is connected. Pineal, pituitary, adrenal. You can say Agna Chakra and the hypogastric plexus, means you can say the Surya Chakra or Agni Chakra. All these are affected, and ultimately our body system gets deranged. Next, please. The stress hormones may actually damage the brain when stress is sustained due to the production of free radicals. When there is a sustained stress, continuous stress, just for a while stress, there is a down in the stock level exchange or something like that. Some persons may get affected by that, but that may not affect for a longer period. Some persons who are related to the economy, world economy, they get very much affected by that. But that is the time, just for timing. But when it is a sustained effect, then sustained effect leads to the a stage in which the free radicals starts injuring us. And free radicals are so many in the society that free radicals may cause you a lot of harms. Now, free radical scavenger is meditation. Free radical cleanser is meditation. Next, please. Toxins and free radicals, they kill cells in every organ of the body. Organs that suffer the most initial cell damage are the brain, liver, pancreas, adrenals, stomach, and the gastrointestinal system. So these systems are affected by the various inputs of the oxidative stress, and this is known as oxidative stress. Now we have to deoxidate it by the free radical scavengers. Now I won't go into very detail of the medical aspect. I'll just say stress is not merely nervous tension. Many people, I am tense, I am having a headache today. You keep on ordering yourself, oh, I feel like taking a Advil, something like that medicine, or I feel like Tylenol, I must take Tylenol, you know, Tylenol. So what happens if you go on telling yourself, I feel like taking Tylenol because I am getting tense. Now the moment you start getting tense and you start telling yourself, then you start feeling like taking it. After 1 hour you take it. And still you feel that if I go to sleep, I just relax, then I'll be okay. Then you go to the bed, you relax for a while, and I may get fever if I don't take full rest. Then next day you are going to get fever. And ultimately that fever will be just by your thinking. Just if you keep on ordering yourself negative thoughts, ultimately if you just give yourself restriction, nothing can harm me. Ultimately if you just give yourself restriction, nothing can harm me. My thoughts are very strong, I am very strong, nothing is going to happen. If it is not an infection, thoughts can harm you like anything. So this is not merely nervous tension, it is always a non-specific result of damage, something to be avoided. And this something to be avoided is just don't let stress kill you. Just don't let stress harm you. The stress world has come from the metallurgical engineering. Metallurgical engineering, if you keep on bending a metal, just take a safety pin, just take a small pin and keep on bending it, a point will come and it will break. Stress means a point comes when you start breaking up. And that complete freedom from stress, if you think, is like a death. You know, the baby is born out of stress. Baby is born out of the stress of the mother's agony, of labor. And when the baby comes out, baby cries. If the baby doesn't cry, everybody is in chaos. They just start thinking that if the baby doesn't cry, we are not going to get basically the growth of the baby. There may be cerebral palsy. There may be retarded growth. So the cry of the baby is very important because baby has to become independent. And the heart has to become fully stronger. The lungs have got to be independent. And the baby was pumping the blood through mother. The mother was pumping her blood into the baby. The baby has to become independent. When you are starting from a cry, how can you be devoid of the cry throughout your life? You may get a cry throughout your life many times. And just don't feel that stress will be always away from me. That is always available, but after death. Means stress-free life is just after death. There are two types of stresses, constructive stresses and the destructive stresses. Stress experienced and coped, properly experienced and coped, you can see a cycle like this. A very even cycle, a very normal, rhythmic, smooth cycle of activity and tension. But next is the distress. You can see that in the next slide. Distress is the destructive stress. Improperly coped stress leading to catastrophes. 1, 2, 3. It can go like this. When it starts getting deranged, it can go like this. And ultimately, loss of energy, depletion of energy with the time. This is what is happening. Improperly coped stress leading to catastrophes. Next, please. The stress and meditation. I am coming to the meditation and stress relationship. Major cause of stress is incoherency of thoughts. The thoughts are bizarre, incoherent thoughts. If your thoughts are properly managed, I think you can control them. And meditation takes us on an inward journey that bridges the gap between thoughts and establishes a conscious contact with the creative energy of life itself. This is what is the meditation's main role, to organize the thoughts, to reorganize the whole channelizing the energy of the body, and to reorganize the whole body system, immunity system in such a way that your thoughts are controlled. Thoughts are controlling the human system, the whole metabolic system in such a way that your meditation starts working on your body potential. During meditation, the body gains a state of profound rest. You have to understand that many of us are not getting enough rest. Meditation gives you enough rest. 15 minutes of meditation in 24 hours. If you just do it, you will be totally away from any stress in the day. The stresses will come, but they will go away from a meditated person with a stress-proof shield around him. If you keep on meditating, then you will be always in a state of meditation. Meditation is not merely for 24 minutes or 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Meditation is a state of being. Meditation means you start breathing yoga in each and every breath. And that is what is the thing which I want to teach you today. At the same time, the brain and the mind become more alert, indicating a state of restful alertness. Means rest with alertness. You are always alert. You are always vigilant about what is happening, the activities surrounding you. So we are trying to reverse stress to meditation because meditation is a therapy of stresses and the stress-borne other effects. Meditation creates a unique hypometabolic state in which the metabolism is in even deeper state of rest than during sleep. Metabolism catabolism is there, but the state of rest is more than during sleep. And during sleep, oxygen consumption drops by 8%, but during meditation it drops by 10 to 20%. You can imagine, sleep is necessary for you, and you sleep for 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours. But during meditation, you get more than 20% oxygen consumption reduced, and that oxygen consumption reduced means your rest is given to your body. Meditation is the only activity that reduces the blood lactate, a matter of stress, a marker of the stress and anxiety. You see, why you get fatigued? Why you get many times cramps in the leg? And that is because of the fatigue of the lactate collection. Serum lactate is high, blood lactate is high. That blood lactate is reduced by the meditation and with meditation pranayama. So all these things, if you do continuously, I think we will be able to treat the stress properly. Next, please. Meditation brings together all the energies of the mind and focuses them on a chosen point. In meditation, we try to bring all the energies, all the bizarre thoughts, streams of thought, ditty, flame, or fragrance. You can see, you can meditate on this ditty, Radha Krishna. You can meditate on the Ganadhipati, Ganapati. Flame, lighted lamp. You can meditate on the fragrance of the incense stick, or the Agnihotra, or the Yagna going on. You can meditate on whatever you want to do, you can meditate on that. If meditation, there is both effort and passive participation. Your effort and your passive participation. Sometimes people feel that how to do meditation, how to meditate and how to bring the effect of constant composed state. It is your effort plus the passive state of your participation that which starts developing the state of meditation. Next, please. How to identify that I need meditation as a therapy? There are signals of stresses. You have to identify that you are in a stage of stress. Biting nails, clenching fists, clenching jaws. These are few signs which everybody can do. You must have seen many people when they are in stress, they just start doing this, like this, bizarre activity. Drumming fingers, grinding teeth, hunching shoulders, and you can see picking at facial skin like this, tapping feet in a very silent class. A person is stressed, a student is stressed, he is tapping feet and his sound is heard by everybody but not by him because he is in a stage of stress. And then doing two things at a time. He is eating also and he is reading a newspaper. But he is neither getting newspaper nor he is eating properly. It is not getting digested, it is not getting eaten properly. He is shaving also and drinking a cup of coffee. But while drinking a cup of coffee, he puts his brush in the coffee and he drinks that water which is for the shave. Doing two things at a time. So this is during stress. And stress is so much prevalent that doing two or three things at a time is happening very commonly. Touching hair very often you start touching your hair. You can monitor your own signs. And too hurried or too loud talking. Too hurried talking, too loud talking. And in that talking, you don't understand what you are talking. What exactly is your precise subject and what you are going to speak. Too conscious about being on time. These persons who are in the stress, they are too conscious about being on time. We have to reach in time. They just come out of the house 10 minutes earlier to reach in time. But when they go out, open the car, they just forget that the mobile is missing from our pocket. So he goes in, because he is in stress, he is just forgotten. Now he goes to bring the mobile and he just forgets the car keys there. He comes back with the cell phone and forgets the car key. Ultimately, he gets late by 20 minutes, 30 minutes because he could not organize it properly. Too conscious about being on time. This is what is a very important thing. Signals of stress is nervous signals of stress. Next, please. There are few mood signals: anxiety, depression, frustration, habitual anger or hostility, helplessness, hopelessness, irritability and restlessness. Now these, you can imagine all these symptoms occurring in any person. A very irritated person going for examination, a very irritated person going for green card application, a person who is going ahead with the job application, and he starts getting in a stage of stress. Then after the nervous signals, the mood signals starts appearing, and you don't know that what stress level he is passing through, what stresses are haunting him, and due to that the mood signals are appearing. You go to a receptionist and ask him something, him or her something, and ultimately you get a very, very violent reply. You don't know what stresses she is passing through. That stress is resulting in that reply. Next is the nervous signals, behavioral signs. Aggression, disturbed sleep is disturbed in the night, you just get awake and you don't know what to do, and ultimately again sleep. Emotional outburst, leaving jobs undone, we'll do it tomorrow, and that tomorrow never comes. Procrastination, keep on keeping things away, and ultimately overreactive. You are so much overreactive that even if someone asks you a small thing, you are very overreactive in your outburst. There are common disorders produced due to stress which are here, and these are 90% of diseases. Sinus tachycardia, heart rate above 130, 140, high blood pressure, ischemic heart disease, which is the cause of a lot of fatalities today, diabetes mellitus, which is the most fatal disease, hyperacidity, peptic ulcer syndrome, ulcerative colitis, which is totally uncurable as far as modern medicine is concerned, migraine, tension headache, chronic backache, then the allergies and asthma, thyrotoxicosis you can see, autoimmune disorders. Your own immunity becomes your own enemy. Ultimately it starts killing you, like rheumatoid arthritis, like collagen disorders. Ultimately, menstrual disorders, anxiety, neurosis, obsessions, and if you ask me, malignancies. If you ask me, low immunity disorders leading to AIDS, all can be produced due to sustained stress. So if you ask me, sustained stress can lead to all varieties of the disorders which are happening today. All types of allergies are produced because of that. Next, please. Psychoneuroimmunology. Psych affects neuronal system, which in turn influences the immune system. Immunity goes down, hence one succumbs to illness. This is what is the psychology, neurology, and immunology. Now, today, a lot of work is going on immunity, but people are unable to understand in modern medicine that how the stresses are affecting the immunity. This is the root of the affection, and this is how the neurology can affect the immunity. And the immunity, if it goes down, you start getting sneezing without any weather change. You start getting a lot of allergies which are having no relation with anything. Ultimately, you start getting ill for nothing because you have a lot of worries in your mind, and those worries are not being understood by the doctor. Doctor is unable to understand those causes, and he is unable to cure you for that allergy. He keeps on giving you, pumping you all antihistaminics. He keeps on pumping you corticosteroids. Now already the corticosteroids is produced inside, and more corticosteroids is given by the doctor, ultimately harming the body. This is what is happening today in the world. Depression may be the world's most debilitating disease by 2015. This is what WHO has said. Depression right now is affecting about 1 billion population out of 6 billion. It is going to become 4 billion population by 2015. And a lot of people will be taking, people ask me which subject I should choose. And my son asked me, they are depressed. Psychology is going to be the subject of future of a student. In my university, people ask me which subject I should choose. And my son asked me what subject I should choose. I advise him psychiatry. Because people are going to be mad, people are going to be depressed, people are going to be psychiatrically ill tomorrow. There are so many factors in the society that they are causing this type of anxiety neurosis or depressive psychosis. So, psychology, depression is the end result of the prolonged stress. I just want to stress upon this particular line. The depression is the end result of prolonged stress. Prolonged stress leads to depression. Many people, they do not understand the relation between the stress and the depression. Why I am saying about depression? Next, please. How to manage stress? Now, we just come to the holistic approaches. Change in dietary pattern, tryptophan-rich food, vegetarian diet. Many people do not understand the relation between the diet and the stress management. Vegetarian diet is very, very important for us. Non-vegetarian people are very, very stress prone, and vegetarian people are very, very composed person. Not all, but if you start eating in real sense the vegetarian diet with sprouted pulses and all those fruits and all those pies and other things, you start becoming more and more quieter. If you start promoting in this non-vegetarian world Western diet, many times when I travel with me, a lot of people are eating non-vegetarian food, and when I ask for the Western food, they ask me, what do you find in this Western food? I say, anti-stress elements are there, and if you are stressed, you can also eat with me. I can ask for you one dish, or I can ask you to participate with me. And sometimes they eat it and they enjoy it. And they say, from today, when I tell them the medical reasons of what are the advantages of becoming vegetarian, and why our Hindu culture teaches us to become vegetarian. Vegetarianism is something in which you learn more and more to have tryptophan. And tryptophan is the food of amino acids. Tryptophan is amino acid. It is the food of brain. Subtler exercises like asanas, posture, pragya yoga, which our Gurudev has devised, as Surya Namaskar and a few set of exercises. Pranayam, churning of vital energy. Just do it for 5 minutes every day for making your mental body stronger. Proper reading habits, swadhyaya for self-introspection. And proper relaxation, shavasana, yoga nidra. If you can do it 5 minutes while going to bed, rather than seeing it TV or arguing with your wife or arguing with your husband, or eating and then going to bed, rather than that, if you do 5 minutes shavasana, 5 minutes yoga nidra, and when they are sung, they give you energy. Pulverized herbal powders are also available, and we got now in Shantikunj, in our Gayatri Tirth, Haridwar, we got tablets also of varieties of the medicines for the Ekoshdi Chikitsa, one medicine at a time. And if you can take Brahmi and Shank Pushpi and all those medicines, they are very good for the initial high stress illnesses. And then Homa therapy, Yagna. Yagna is a very good therapy for the de-stressing yourself. If you sit in the Yagna and you come out, you feel so fresh because there are free radicals coming out of the Yagna. And those free radical scavengers coming out of the Yagna. And they clean you and they do the cleansing. Avoid isolation, become part of society, and devote time for the social selfless service. Now, what is the important service? When you become a part of society, ultimately you start learning more and more doing service to others. When you do service to others, you will never get stressed. So one who does aradhana, samaj seva, or one who expends the better thoughts to everybody, then he starts becoming himself de-stressed. This is what we can learn. Next, please. Balanced diet. What is a balanced diet like? Again, just I am stressing new salad combinations. Try every salad combination every third day. You won't get bored. Go to Hare Rama, Hare Krishna and just try salads. Lot of varieties of salads and a lot of varieties of dressings. Fruit, nuts and raw vegetables. And raw or steamed boiled vegetables. Just try them with spices, little spices like black pepper and all those. Fiber-rich diets. Just try to eat that white. What we are, whole wheat flour we are not eating. We are eating the filtered wheat flour. Many times in Gujarati people, when I see white rotis, white chapatis, they are all made of maida, that is the filtered wheat flour. If you eat choker, that is the main source of the energy, fiber. You are eating fiber separately, or you are eating fiber tablets separately. Why don't you add to eat and eat it? This is what is the need. And then you can eat boiled rice, beans and pulses. Rice also should not be polished. And then apple with the skin. Fruits is alternative to pies. Sprouted pulses like wheat grass, the sprouted varieties of the pulses. Wheat, peanuts and all those can be made into sprouts and you can eat it. Meditation is when inner concentration of the mind on any object becomes effortless, unbroken and sustained is the state of meditation. When we are coming to the solution of this stress, it implies giving a bath to your personality of noble and ideal thoughts. Many times people think that meditation means going into the stage of composed state. I am just getting very, very quieter and I am just becoming without any thought. Thoughtless stage comes later on. First you have to learn to live with thoughts. And invite those thoughts. Invite those thoughts and try to live in those thoughts. Give a bath to your personality of noble and ideal thoughts. And in those noble and ideal thoughts, you will start submerging yourself. Your mind will start getting gradually tuned to the inner identity. And if you are having a positive mental attitude, the positive thoughts will come to you. Meditation implies the concentration of the conscious mind, focus it on subconscious, integrate both, and go towards the superconscious and establish on it. This is the whole of meditation. Conscious to subconscious, integrate both, go to the superconscious, merge it, and become a meditated person. Many times people ask me that meditation lecture was very good, but when we do meditation, our thoughts, they just go on wandering. Many people I ask, if I ask for meditation, how many people were meditating? Around 2 persons out of 50, they raise their hands. Very honestly, I ask them honestly. Why? Because the moment we start sitting, our thoughts, they become, the moment you are silent, God says Lord Krishna says in Gita, Chanchalam, Arjun says, Chanchalam hi manah Krishna, pramathi balvadridam. My mind is very, very restless. It just wanders like here, and there. How to control it? He says, Lord Krishna says, Abhyasen tu konteya vairagyena cha griyate. Oh Arjun, if you want to concentrate, do 2 things, Abhyas and Vairagya. Abhyas means practice. Do the chanting of the mantras, do the stuti of this garb, and become sannyasi like Swamiji, and go to the Himalayas. No, nothing. Vairagyena means live a life of fruitless actions. Whatever is the action you do without fruits, and ultimately you become a Vairagi. So by these 2 things, you become controlled, and your whole concentration starts occurring on your thoughts. You can control, but only when you can control the thought process on one point. Many times people do not understand the concentration and the contemplation. Concentration can be done by anybody. One person who is counting the notes in the bank by hand, he is also concentrating. One who is doing the firing on a point, he is also concentrating. Concentration is not meditation. Concentration is only the initial stage of meditation. Contemplation is meditation. Consecration is meditation. If you merge your identity with the Almighty, that is meditation. Subconscious is just like a black box of the cockpit. As you know, in the plane there is a cockpit. And whatever has happened in the talk of the pilot with the system of the traffic control system, they just try to inquire after the accident, after the plane has crashed, they try to search the cockpit. And the cockpit shows everything. Our cockpit is inside us, subconscious. And whatever we have done, the moment we start meditation, we start reviewing all our previous sanskar and our all deeds. One should not be afraid of this. One should not be afraid of seeing his kusanskar. One should not be afraid of seeing his sins. And once you get cleaned away, once you start rubbing them, once you start erasing them by meditation, meditation is one process through which you can erase your prarabdha. Meditation is one thing through which you can clean your mind, subconscious mind, like anything. Well balanced, inner calmness, from inside you are very calm, increased awareness, your awareness is increased, and ultimately cheerfulness all the time. Now, this is what is lacking today. I don't find any smile on anybody's face today. And whatever is the smile, it is after clubs in the Bombay and many various places when the people, they laugh, and they start de-stressing themselves. And for half an hour they laugh, but 23 and a half hours they are just grinning and they are just worrying about themselves. The laugh and smile should come from inside. Cleanser, it just cleanses our mental garbage. You are living in a garbage-oriented society. And this garbage-oriented society, have you thought ever of the mental garbage? Where do you put it? Physical garbage, you put it in the black bag, which the council person will come and take away. But what about the mental garbage? Mental garbage will be cleaned only by meditation. So you have to do meditation every day, 15 minutes. It gets rid of mental constipation. Mental garbage and again mental constipation. And mental constipation is something which is to be avoided because all the time it will lead to disorders. It implies giving a bath to your personality, noble idle thoughts, which I told you earlier. How to meditate? Sit in a comfortable position. This is what you are seated in a comfortable position. Sukhasana. One which gives you sukh is sukhasana. And classic posture is cross-legged on the floor like sukhasana, or a big chair with a cushion. You sit on the chair with a cushion, or wherever you are comfortable. Sit in Padmasana. Many people they try to sit in such a difficult asana that perhaps the meditation will be very, very good. No, nothing will be good if your mind is totally in the legs. you have put your legs in such a position that you are all the time troubled. You are all the time in the pain. Why should you put like that? You just sit in a very, very relaxed posture. Even you have to extend your legs and sit in that position. You straighten your spine, then straighten your spine, because straightening the spine leads to the various virtues which are coming, because there lies the Sushumna. Please. Nose, inhale to fill up the lungs, and you can also focus on then you start focusing on sound of Om or mantra or meaningful word or phrase like Gayatri mantra. Oh Lord, you are the cause of the existence. You are the bestower of the happiness. All those qualities of the God, Sukh Sarup, Pran Sarup, Dukh Nashak, Shresht, Tejasvi, Pap Nashak, Dev Sarup. And try to meditate on that. Or mentally recite mantra in synchrony with your breathing. Try to synchronize your breathing with the mantra. And gradually synchronize in such a way that both are tuned to each other. And even 30 minutes of inner equipoise is good to give you a rest for 24 hours. Inner equipoise. So this is what you have to learn actually. By practice, everybody can do it. But this can come if you can learn. 30 minutes I know I am asking too much. But if you can start from 10 minutes, and if you get inner relaxation, if you get inner joy, you can increase it to 30 minutes. Next, early morning rising sun is very, very good for meditation. If you want to meditate, the early morning rising sun, but in West, even the early morning rising sun is very, very harmful for me, because when I start seeing it, but that immediately coming up of the sun is very good. The morning when it comes, meditate on the flame, the lighted lamp, or your deity like Radha Krishna or Bhagwan Shiva, or Mother Goddess Gayatri, Bhavani, whatever you have a deity. Or you can meditate on the Himalayas, or you can meditate on the ocean also. Means any deity you can choose, anything you can choose. You have to just start imagining. Focus on your breath by counting each time and by synchronizing that. And Gayatri Mantra is very, very good for the meditation. Just mentally recite Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhurvasvaha Tassaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dinu Prachodayat. Mentally recite it and try to bring the vibrations to you. Gradually you will start becoming relaxed. It will take 5 to 10 minutes. You need patience. And if you have patience enough, you will start meditating. But once you lose your patience, then that time you just break your connection away from the Paramatma. According to the science of acoustics, the patterns of the sound waves produced by each of the 24 letters of the Gayatri Mantra are very special, and their combined effect is a source of immense energy. The combined effect is a source of immense energy. If you just recite 108 times, it gives you immense energy. Once you must try and you must see how it influences your body. Precautions for meditation. There are a few precautions for meditation. Diet has to be sattvic. I told you that sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. Out of that, your diet should be okay. If you have eaten tamasic diet, you won't be able to meditate properly. Try to eat boiled vegetables more often, if it is possible for you. No excited reading or no exciting reading, no watching violence or pornography on TV, computer or magazine. Lifestyle has to be orderly and thoroughly organized. Your lifestyle should be such that in early morning you get up and sleep at a proper time. And if you are able to sleep later, try to relax for a while as a cat nap in the day and try to maintain the sleep cycle. And ultimately, satsang and swadhyaya, they make the tuning, and they are the tuning for meditation. Your relationship with others, is it compassionate relationship or it is just forced relationship? The art of thinking, what do you think about various things? The thinking is also an art. You think nothing with any aim. You must think with aim in objectives. Means proper thinking comes with the proper reading of the books. And then art of becoming, what you want to become, an art of organizing. You have been able to organize so many organizations. Your own organization where you are serving as a manager, you are organizing, but you are not organizing yourself. Art of organizing means Jivan Sadhana, life deity. You have to worship your life deity. Next, please. There are few asanas which help in meditation. Ushtrasan, Bhujangasan, Arthalasana, Yoga Mudra. These are few asanas of the part of the Pragya Yoga. Vitamins of the air. Generally speaking, negative ions increase the flow of oxygen to the brain, resulting in higher alertness, decreasing drowsiness, and more mental energy. That's why we do more and more pranayam. And more pranayam in the free air, it gives us more and more energy. P.S.J. Howard, PhD, he has done a very immense research work in North Carolina, and he has done a research work on this. Next, please. My research institute, I'm just giving you glimpses of, I'm just summing up with the concept of Brahmacharya Research Institute, where we are doing an institute with dedicated to intercommunal science and spirituality and art of living. And this is our Yajna, which is scientifically made. And we are doing analysis of the fumes, analysis of the samidhas and the havan samagri. And we are seeing the effects of the yagna on meditation. And all these processes are being analyzed. And one of the girl has done PhD under me. The multi-drug resistant tuberculosis can be cured by yagya. She has done work on 100 subjects. And these patients have been cured since last 4 years, and they are being sustained properly. That work has been published by the American journal, and it has been published in many Indian journals, and she has been awarded just 2 days earlier to my arrival here. I got her viva done, and she has done research under me. And I think yajna is a process which needs to be analyzed scientifically.